What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day as always. If you guys haven't already subscribed, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are super close to 3,000 subscribers, which is so awesome. It's a huge goal of mine, so let's go ahead and try to hit that. Also, website is coming soon. It's almost done. I'm adding the last couple of products, and then it should be good to go. We'll have apparel, some lighting stuff. We have some other really big WJ things coming soon. I'm not going to let you guys know exactly what those are, but it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be basically the beefiest stuff you can buy on the market for the WJ right now. But with all that being said, let's hop into today's video. So as you guys might know, WJs, I have two of them. They have like a heat soaking issue in the summer. When you park them, the engine heat stays in the engine bay and your engine gets really hot. You might notice when you park, your engine's at perfect running temperatures. Then after a couple minutes, like 10-15 minutes, it'll be hot when you turn it back on. That's just because there's really no way for the air to get out of the engine bay. And I installed hood vents on the black WJ, and there's no hood vents on the blue one. So I'm going to tell you guys if hood vents actually work. We'll go over all that stuff, show you guys how they work. And we also have some custom hood vents coming for my WJ. We're going to work on a design for that, and we'll be bringing them to the website as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, for the install video and all that kind of stuff. But let's hop out. I'll show you guys the hood vents I have on that Jeep, show you guys how they're helpful, how they work, all that kind of stuff. So the blue WJ is actually my only Jeep without hood vents, and we are working on that. We'll get that taken care of. The black one has these hood vents, and my red one actually has a ton of hood vents all over it. It's got like 3 on each side, so no overheating issues there. But today's video is if it actually makes a difference with overheating or heat soaking. So we're gonna go over all that. So it is winter right now, but I have driven this blue WJ in the summer, and it did have a heat soaking issue. And we did not end up adding vents just because it was almost fall, winter time. But the black one, I was left no choice because I did this in the summer, and these are the hood vents we installed. These are actually boat vents, but you can see straight through. So the hot air will raise up and come out through the hood vents, which then keeps the temperatures under the hood in the engine bay a little bit cooler, so they're not going to heat soak your engine nearly as quickly, which won't make it overheat while you park it in like parking garages. That's when I've mostly noticed it, is parking in parking garages, stuff like that, where there's not a bunch of airflow and the air just stays trapped under your hood. They definitely help in those situations. So we're going to definitely have to add some hood vents to the blue one and get everything figured out there. But you guys can see just how small these hood vents are, and they do make a difference. They're like twice the size of my hand, and they're very small. They're probably 4 or 5 inches across, but they definitely make a huge difference just letting some air out, especially with where they're placed. They're right above the headers, so the hot air comes up and goes straight out the hood. So it's super helpful. You don't need huge ones like my Wrangler has. The Wrangler has one on the side, one right here in the middle, and then it's got a couple down the side here in the middle as well. You don't need that many. That's kind of just more for aesthetic looks, to be completely honest with you guys. These work just fine. And we're actually going to be making some custom hood vents, I believe, to go on the blue one that we'll be bringing to the website also. So keep an eye out for that. With the vents, though, air can travel through the grill and push the hot air up and out through these vents as you're driving as well. So it does sort of help with overheating. However, if your Jeep is overheating, there's more than likely an underlying issue. That's saying overheating, just normal driving and all that. There's probably another issue. This Jeep actually had the thermostat go bad on it. We replaced that. We threw actually a lower temperature thermostat in it, and it runs a lot cooler now. It actually probably is a little too low than what we'll want. It doesn't get all the way up to operating temperature of 210, which is ideal for these Jeeps, but it does do its job. So as far as that goes, it will help with heat soak. It will help a little bit with overheating. However, I would also look at your other options and what could potentially be wrong with your Jeep, because there's a lot of other things that can cause overheating. And some of that stuff, throwing hood vents on there, is just not going to do what you need to prevent that from happening. So as far as hood vents goes, should you run them? Should you not run them? Let's hop back in the Jeep where there's no wind, and we'll go over all of that. Alright guys, so now that we've gone over all that, showed you guys my setup for hood vents on the black Jeep, kind of showed you guys the hood vents on the Wrangler, and went over how this one doesn't have hood vents at all. Let's go over my final opinion. Should you run hood vents? Honestly, yeah, probably. I see a lot of people worrying about if water will get into their engine bay or all that stuff. when it rains and you're driving, there's already water getting up there. It doesn't really matter. As long as everything's fine in your engine bay and you don't have like exposed wires or anything, not going to be an issue. You'll be fine. The water's not going to do anything. There's nothing to worry about there, as long as your engine's in good condition and like there's no wires messed up. So in my opinion, yes, hood vents definitely make a difference. It's nice for heat soaking. And like I said, if you're overheating, it'll help a little bit, but there's probably an underlying issue that you guys haven't found yet. So make sure you take a look at all that stuff. For example, mine on the black Jeep, that was a thermostat that was stuck and it just wasn't working anymore. So it wasn't cooling the engine properly. So definitely take a look into that stuff. Make sure your Jeep doesn't have anything wrong with it. Hood vents will help a little bit with overheating, but it's not the solution to a lot of problems. There's a ton of stuff that can cause overheating. But that basically wraps up this video. Before we end the video though, like I said earlier, we are going to be making WJ hood vents. It'll be super cool. It'll be kind of a more unique design, I believe, depending on what we're trying to figure out here. And we'll probably also have a basic design for you guys to pick up. But we're going to be installing them on my WJ first, showing you guys how to do it, install videos, pictures, all that kind of stuff. Then we'll go ahead and put them up on the website so they're live. And if you guys like them, you can pick up a set for your Jeep. We're going to be having a ton of parts on there. My goal is to make some really cool and unique WJ parts that aren't made yet and aren't available to the market. Stuff that they make for the Wrangler, but for some reason they don't make for the WJ. There's a lot of cool parts out there. So we're going to try to make some for the WJ so you guys can pick them up. And I'm only going to be selling products that I'm going to be running on my Jeep. So you guys know they'll be quality because we're building an insane rock crawler. So obviously I'm not going to throw junk parts on there. But as always, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.